Taraji P. Henson is at the top of her game in Tyler Perry's latest movie, Straw.
Half of this company was my $400,000 that started this bitch. You know it and I know it.
Taraji P. Henson, Empire!
Taraji P. Henson is one of those rare Hollywood figures who feels less like a distant star and more like someone you've known all your life. Whether she's playing the unbreakable Cookie Lyon in Empire, the brilliant Katherine Johnson in Hidden Figures, or just being her unapologetic self in interviews, there's something about Taraji that cuts through the industry polish. She's raw, she's real, she's resilient. But her journey to stardom wasn't wrapped in gold. Taraji had no famous last name or mentor waiting in the wings. What she had was relentless ambition and the kind of work ethic forged in the fire of necessity. Her presence on screen is magnetic, but it's what she overcame off-screen that gives her performances depth and weight. Join us as we tell you the real-life story of Taraji P. Henson. Before we do, like and hit that subscribe button. Tragic childhood in D.C. Born on September 11, 1970 in Washington, D.C., Taraji Penda Henson didn't grow up surrounded by fame or fortune. She was raised by her mother, Bernice, a corporate manager at the Pentagon, and her father, Boris, a Vietnam War veteran and metal worker. Their working-class ethos left a deep mark on Taraji, who learned early that nothing in life is handed to you. Her first name, Taraji, means hope in Swahili. Penda means love. Her parents gave her more than a name. They gave her a calling. But it wasn't always a happy home. Her father, though loving, struggled with mental health issues that later shaped her own advocacy work. As a child, she saw what instability looked like and decided that she would build something different for herself. The early years were a patchwork of challenges, financial strain, emotional turmoil, and an awareness of racial realities that shaped her worldview. But even in that environment, Taraji dreamed big. She wrote poetry, performed skits, and clung to storytelling like it was her lifeline. It wasn't just escapism, it was early artistry. And that spark would only grow stronger with time. Dreams on a budget, college, and motherhood. Taraji's journey into acting was filled with obstacles. After a brief stint studying electrical engineering at North Carolina A&T, she transferred to Howard University to pursue theater. She worked multiple jobs to make ends meet, including a now famous gig as a singing-dancing waitress on a cruise ship. Then, at 24, she became a mother. Her son Marcel was born from her relationship with high school sweetheart William Lamar Johnson. Not long after, William was tragically murdered. Taraji was suddenly a single mom, grieving the father of her child while carrying the weight of a future that now felt twice as heavy. Still, she didn't waver. With just $700 in her pocket, her baby in her arms, and nothing but belief in her talent, she packed up and moved to Los Angeles. It sounds cinematic, but there was no script, no safety net, and no guarantee. Just grit. She didn't know anyone in Hollywood. She faced landlords who doubted her ability to pay rent, agents who dismissed her, and countless rejections. But each no only fueled her resolve. She was raising her son alone and chasing a dream in a city known to break spirits. Early Hollywood, auditions, rejections, and typecasting. Hollywood didn't welcome her with open arms. Roles were few and often stereotypical. Taraji was told again and again she wasn't leading lady material. One casting director even told her she'd never be more than a ghetto girl. But Taraji had trained at Howard. She knew Shakespeare. She had depth. She had range. She had a baby to feed. She wasn't going to quit because of someone else's limited imagination. Her breakthrough came in 2001, playing Yvette in John Singleton's Baby Boy. Opposite Tyrese Gibson, Taraji gave a performance that was raw and unforgettable. She wasn't just playing a role, she was living it. And finally, people noticed. Still, even with critical praise, the doors didn't swing wide open. There were no instant calls from major studios. Instead, she continued grinding, small roles, TV guest spots, supporting characters. She knew she had to work twice as hard for half the credit. A star who kept getting overlooked. Despite early acclaim, Taraji's rise was painfully slow. In 2005, she starred in Hustle and Flow and even sang on the film's Oscar-winning track, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. But when the film's producers walked the Oscars' red carpet, she wasn't invited. The experience was painful, but she continued forward. Then came 2008's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Her portrayal of Queenie, a woman who adopts a baby born looking like an old man, earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. It was validation, yet even that milestone didn't translate to fair compensation. She later disclosed that she earned much less than her fellow cast members. She accepted the role for its artistic value, but remained aware of her true worth. This reflected a broader issue faced by many actresses of color. Even after earning respect and accolades, they're often still overlooked when it comes to opportunities and pay. And she didn't just keep showing up, she kept shining. With each role, she proved she could play vulnerability, strength, humor, and rage with equal conviction. Cookie Lyon, the role that changed everything. In 2015, Empire premiered and changed the trajectory of Taraji's career. As Cookie Lyon, the fierce, fashion-forward matriarch of a hip-hop empire, Taraji delivered a performance so explosive it dominated pop culture. She won a Golden Globe, became the first African-American woman in decades to win a Best Actress in a TV drama at the Critics' Choice Awards, and saw her face everywhere, from memes to magazine covers. But more importantly, Cookie Lyon redefined the Black female anti-hero. Taraji said she infused Cookie with every pain, every fight, every moment she'd lived. That wasn't just acting. That was soul work. Cookie was complex, flawed, brilliant, broken, and bold. She was a businesswoman, a mother, a survivor, and a firestorm. Taraji gave her humanity, and in doing so, changed what leading women on network TV could look and sound like. Taraji is making a comeback with Straw. Taraji P. Henson's first collaboration with Tyler Perry came at a pivotal time in her career. In 2009's I Can Do Bad All By Myself, she played April, a hard-edged nightclub singer forced to confront the pain she'd buried for years. It was one of her first leading roles, and Tyler, unlike so many others in the industry, didn't just see her as a supporting act. He saw her as the star. That film marked a turning point, giving her space to show her full range: raw vulnerability, sharp wit, and emotional ferocity. For Taraji, it wasn't just a job. It was a spotlight she'd long been denied. After years of carving her own path and proving herself again and again, Taraji returned in 2025 to collaborate with Perry once more. Their newest project, Straw, is a psychological crime drama that places her in one of her most demanding roles to date, a woman teetering on the edge of emotional collapse after betrayal and systemic injustice. Also starring Sherry Shepherd and Teyana Taylor, Straw isn't just a reunion, it's a cinematic reckoning. For Taraji, it's not a comeback, it's a level up. From the actress he once gave center stage to the powerhouse she is today, this full circle moment finds her unfiltered, uncompromising, and in complete command. It's Taraji at her most fearless. Advocating for mental health, turning pain into purpose. Success didn't protect Taraji from personal battles. In interviews, she opened up about her struggles with depression and anxiety, particularly in her 40s. Her father's PTSD, the murder of her son's father, and the pressures of Hollywood all left emotional scars. But instead of hiding her pain, she used it as fuel. In 2018, she launched the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, named after her father, to bring mental health resources to the Black community. Through speaking events, partnerships, and her own candidness, Taraji is shifting the cultural narrative around therapy and emotional wellness. She also launched school programs, community outreach, and national campaigns aimed at breaking generational cycles of trauma. She understands that mental health isn't just an individual journey, it's a community effort. Her activism has already saved lives, and she shows no signs of stopping. Producing, writing, and reclaiming power. Never one to be boxed in, Taraji expanded her reach behind the scenes. She wrote a memoir, Around the Way Girl, in 2016, which debuted on the New York Times bestseller list. In its pages, she told her story, unfiltered, funny, and brave. In 2020, she launched TPH Entertainment, her production company, signing a first-look deal with 20th Century Fox. Her goal is crystal clear: tell Black stories with nuance, power, and joy. Taraji isn't just waiting for better roles anymore, she's making them. She also produced the Facebook Watch series Peace of Mind with Taraji, a talk show exploring trauma, grief, and healing, especially in Black communities. It became a safe space, full of compassion and courage, and showed yet another side of a star unwilling to play by Hollywood's old rules. In 2023, Taraji starred in the film adaptation of The Color Purple, bringing both gravitas and vulnerability to her role. As with every performance, she gave her all, not just acting, but honoring those who came before her. She's also making waves in Beauty with TPH by Taraji, her natural hair care line, proving yet again that she's not a one-note performer, but a full-spectrum creative force. Whether she's acting, producing, writing, or leading a business, she does it with purpose. She continues to mentor young talent, speak on panels, and challenge the entertainment industry to do better. Taraji's legacy isn't just in her roles, it's in the doors she's opened and the minds she's changed. She's not just working for her own success, but for future generations of Black creatives who deserve to dream bigger. Taraji's courageous fight for equal pay. While roles like Cookie Lyon and Straw proved Taraji could lead both TV and film, getting fair compensation has been another battle altogether. She's spoken openly about being underpaid, even for Benjamin Button, where she earned an Oscar nomination. Despite her credentials, studios often offered her fractions of what white actresses made, assuming she'd take what she could get. But Taraji didn't stay silent. She used her platform to spotlight the industry's racial pay gap, becoming a leading voice for equity. "I'm not asking for more, I'm asking for what's fair," she declared time and again. Her transparency has empowered other Black actresses to speak out, and as a producer, she now works to ensure others don't face the same imbalance. For Taraji, the issue isn't just personal, it's generational. She's fighting not just for herself, but for every young Black creative who deserves to be valued from day one. Taraji is leaving a legacy behind her. Taraji P. Henson isn't just a success story, she's a survivor story. A story of a Black woman who entered a world that didn't see her, who spoke anyway, who lost love and kept loving, who was told no and turned it into power. She doesn't fit into molds, she breaks them. Taraji today stands as a symbol of everything that can happen when talent meets tenacity, and when faith refuses to flicker out. So the next time you see Taraji P. Henson glowing on a red carpet, remember, the glow was forged in fire. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button because behind the red carpet was a woman who never gave up.